What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ReCoop. I'm your host, Cooper Daniels, and today is Wednesday, March 20th. How the hell are you doing? What's going on? Everybody okay? Is Ethereum a security? Gary? All the Garys are going after Ethereum. The big Gare. What's going to happen there, folks? We're going to find out. Let me move this thing real quick. We got the FOMC meeting in what? Well, he's going to do his press conference in 45 minutes. They'll announce that they are not cutting rates. In 15 minutes, we'll go look at it live, folks. We'll see that shit happen live. I was going to try to hang out and watch the FOMC meeting with you guys, but I got told, no, you're not going to do that. I'm going to take this baby out of this house. God damn it. So we're not going to do that. And only a few of you probably wanted to watch that anyways. Folks, what's going on? Are you good? Are you excited? Algorand Foundation has a new CMO. I think his name is Mark. And he was a steward of the Android system. Worked at Google. You know, good. There you go. Let's see it. I'm not going to get all excited this time. At least this time it's not Nike. You know, we were all excited about Nike and shoes. And then Jess put it on our chin, folks. Jess Chin put it on our chin. And then, but at least this is a guy with some tech background. Android. I mean, that sound, brand-wise, Algorand, Android. It's not that Algorand is the most exciting. You know what I mean? It's not the iPhone. Soul, maybe you use the iPhone. I don't know. They literally have a phone. And then Android is, it's a different thing. Folks, I love the way you look. You know what I mean? Let's look at the chat. I'm a bit tired today. Let's see. Per Nikita at Cometa Coop saved Meta. Dan, Uncle Sam. On the next block earlier today, they had the Cometa Hub. And the guy that created Cometa with some of his friends said that the Coop coin actually saved the site. So there you go. Kissing babies, folks. I'm kissing babies. Man, words are not coming. That took me a long time to say kissing babies. That's bad. All right. Samino, good morning. Good morning to you, my man. All right. Everyday Algonaut, good morning. Nice to see you. Coop looking good. Handsome man. Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. Let's see. Are we poor yet? Bank on Algorand. The meme master. The OG from the Algorand ecosystem. Has a poor token where you too can choose poor. Did you hear that? You too can choose poor. There you go. Bank on Algorand. He paid me 4 million poor to say that. He did not pay me anything. He didn't even ask me to do that. And if he did ask me to do that, he'd probably be disappointed in how I did it. That's okay. Nokia. What was Nokia? I mean, I know what Nokia is. Oh, we need to get the former CMO of Nokia? Is that what you're saying? Or the fact, isn't Nokia like, isn't there like some patent fight with Reddit right now between Nokia and Reddit? Are you guys excited? I mean, the mainstream media is flooding this Reddit IPO for sure. They love the articles about how Redditors are not going to do it. They're going to short it. I mean, what are we talking about here? Is this really, it's what they're trying to value it at 6.5. Has that even come out? 6.5 billion. Has that even come out a few years ago when tech stocks were all flying? It was valued at 10. So there's a haircut there, but they're not making any money. Now they lost less money this last year than the year before that. So I guess that's good. Is Reddit something that can scale in a way that makes it be a $25, $30 billion company? I mean, it's hard not to be a bit excited about Reddit stock because of all of us. I'm almost sure all of us have been around long enough to be all kind of wrapped up in the Wall Street bet stuff. And, GameStop, obviously, and AMC and Nokia was a little side player there that never really got to work out, but it was fine. But you guys all remember it. So it's kind of like, well, what's going to happen? we talked about it the other day. A lot of you are expecting it to dip below IPO, and that's when you're going to buy it, and you're not going to FOMO into a massive run on day one, because a lot of shit is changing. But we're going to find out tomorrow. We're going to find out, and I'm excited to see what the hell happens. Okay, there we go. Good day, Coop. What's up, 508? All right. So, all right, folks, so let's just scroll through. Let's see what the stock market is feeling 10 minutes before they announce their interest rate decision. We'll see. And then we'll see what the chatter is. We'll look at what the crypto sites are saying. Obviously, we got that. We're getting a lot of stuff on the on Twitter right now about Ethereum working to classify, or sorry, the SEC working to classify Ethereum as a security. The Ethereum Foundation on GitHub announced that there is a voluntary investigation by a state actor, and that requires confidentiality. So that state actor is obviously the United States, and they apparently have been looking into Ethereum ever since they moved from proof of work to proof of stake. You can't make these animals happy, folks. Oh, proof of work is energy, uses up all the energy as much as the country of Guatemala. And now they're like, okay, well, you moved away from that energy intensive shit. Now it's, I just don't want to approve you, is basically the vibe of the SEC. Man, I'm not, today is not my day. Today is a day where I should be sleeping still, but I'm not. I'm here with you folks. All right, let's go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Mom, am I okay? Someone call my mom. All right, Mom, I love you. She's not watching. She's definitely not watching. Okay, let's go to CNBC. You guys come here for the weirdness, right? That's why you come. That's why you guys are here. You're like, I can always rely on Cooper to be weird. At least he's different than these other guys that take themselves too seriously. You guys watching the new BitBoy show? Okay. Well, we got a little bit of, it's red across the board here. Red. All right. So let's make sure I'm sharing this shit, because you'd be disappointed if we weren't. Okay. So the Dow is sideways. Okay. So we're not moving. We're not moving until we hear, and we're probably not moving at 11 either, because everybody knows they're not going to raise interest rates or cut interest rates. But we are going to get an idea on possibly how Jerry thinks about the current or the most recent inflation numbers, which came in hot, and whether they're going to pare back expectations of, I think it's, what are they expecting? We expecting 3 rate cuts this year. Well, we're already in the almost April. Can you believe it's almost April? For the love of Christ. This is what happens when you work too hard, is that time flies. When you work too hard and you're not having fun, time flies. I'm having fun. Most days. Okay, so the everything, there's nothing to report here. This is all sideways activity. Except for oil actually is down pretty significant. I mean, over 2%. Here's everything to expect from the Federal Reserve's policy meeting. The Fed is expected to offer clues Wednesday on the future of its balance sheet reduction. They've been pretty aggressively getting rid of this shit. So that's been a tightening move in of itself. Apple CEO Tim Cook visits Shanghai amid a slowdown in China iPhone sales. This guy, man, might be time for some fresh blood at Apple. Who knows? Mr. Yen says Japan could intervene if yen falls to 155. Mr. Yen, I don't know who that is. We're not going to find out. EU-China trade relations are in a slow motion train accident. Ba-do-do-do. All right. Sorry for getting quiet there, folks. All right, so here we go. We're on Bloomberg real quick just to see what these assholes are saying. And then, okay, so we got the Fed to give fresh clues on path of interest rate cuts. Stocks churn before Fed with Powell as wild card. What is the Fed's dot plot and why does it matter? Reddit shareholders guide IPO price at top of range or above. The social media company is offering 22 million shares for 31 to 34 each. I need to subscribe to this. We're not going to be able to read this, are we? No, we're not. Okay, damn it. I'll subscribe. I'm going to do it. All right, let's get out of here because if they're not going to let me read it, what are we doing here? Okay, so we got Bitcoin down, but we're going to look at prices in a second. Let's see. Ether tumbles 6% as ETH ETF hopes dim amid regulatory probe. 6%. Looks like it's down less than 1%. But maybe that was earlier. Share this tab instead. How about that? For catching the problem? God, so many pop-ups. Sorry, guys. Ether tumbled 6%. All right, let's see what they're saying here. Ether dropped to nearly 3,200 and other cryptos turned lower as a regulatory headwind weighed on the market. Ether-based spot ETFs likely won't get approved by the SEC in May. Yeah, that's not happening, especially with the news that's coming out there. They're going to delay this as long as they possibly can. All right, it tumbled as much as 6%. Wednesday, amid concern, much hoped for ETH exchange or ETH, whatever you want to call it, traded funds face a roadblock to U.S. approval. CoinDesk reported earlier in the day that the Ethereum Foundation, a nonprofit that helps develop the blockchain behind the second largest cryptocurrency, faces a confidential inquiry from an unnamed government. Not long after, Fortune said the SEC is waging a campaign to classify the Ethereum blockchain's native token as a security, beginning a probe after Ethereum moved to a proof-of-stake network in 2022. In the aftermath, ETH dropped to 3,200. Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency, dropped to around 6,200 after bouncing to near 64,000 earlier. 62,000. 3,200, 62,000. 6,200 for Bitcoin would be a buying opportunity, folks. I do think this relates to the ETF. The SEC has been in an untenable position for some time with its position on ETH. This is, in my opinion, either an attempt to maintain its ambiguity for just a bit longer or the SEC is going nuclear. Designating ETH as a security could complicate efforts to create Ether ETFs in the US. The SEC has a May deadline to decide on approval. An analyst at Bloomberg on Tuesday said he doesn't expect such a fund to get approved by May, given the regulator's lack of engagement with potential issuers, a contrast to the active conversations around spot Bitcoin ETFs before they got the green light in January. So your ETH ETF narrative is crumbling, folks. Are you sad? XRP Army isn't sad. Like, finally. All right. Solana not performing well at all. Everybody talking about all the damn failed transactions they get. Not fit for purpose, folks. But they are being used. That's what everybody, even in the Algorand community, is like, yeah, but they're being used, guys. They're being used. So don't be so negative. I love it when people try to police negativity and like tribalism and competition and all that. Like, why do you do that? I don't understand why you try to police that. Why are you trying to police a community that's just a group of diverse idiots? We're all idiots. Like, stop trying to think that your passive, positive, no engagement approach is the right approach. Okay? People just mix shit up. And then, you see it. You see it. Freaking Anatoly, he mixes it up. He calls people out. And it gets great engagement, and the community loves him for it. But over here in Algorand, like, if somebody's like, Algorand's better than Sol, and then it's like, oh, that doesn't work, dickhead. Stop it, you stupid fuck. God damn it, it's because of you that Algorand has crashed 99%. Stacey Warden's a hero while you are keeping us down with your negativity. She's got a hat by probably, I don't know who that is, but she is with hat. She's a hero. And you, sir, and your degen tweets are what's wrong with this blockchain. Not the fact that no VC will come near it with a stick, the pillow on it. Put a pillow at the end of a stick and a VC won't even come near it. But it's the person that desperately wants people to understand that the technology is worth trying. But that's not how you do it. You don't go around saying, you fucking suck, want to be my friend. You go around saying, hey, man, how you doing? Want me to buy you a beer? That's how you make friends. Not on the internet, folks. You make them feel foolish, and then they sit at home alone crying, and they decide maybe they're right about me. I need to do Algorand. That's how you get to the hearts and minds of people, folks. But I am sort of just a person that really, some of you are probably listening to me and like, what in God's name is this dude with poppy seeds in his teeth fucking talking about? Just be yourself. And if you're an angsty asshole, just be that. Stop trying to stop it. All right. Guilty verdict for woman accused of laundering Bitcoin tied to alleged 6 billion China fraud. What the hell's going on here? Quote of the day. If you're an angsty asshole, just be that and let them be that. All right. Police in the UK seized over 1.7 billion pounds worth of related Bitcoin in 2018. All right. So there you go. The UK is richer. UK citizen was found guilty of laundering huge amounts of Bitcoin for a Chinese fugitive tied to an alleged 6 billion investment fraud. Oh, buddy. Police in the UK seized over 1.7 billion pounds, $2.2 billion worth of Bitcoin related to the alleged fraud in a 2018 operation. Well, so the UK just got a little more bullish on Bitcoin, didn't they? They're rich. All right, so we probably get the interest rate decision now. Let's see. Okay, so we're pumping. Not really, but we're on the green side. Here's one of those articles I was talking about. I'll share this. Reddit power users reject chance to participate in IPO as Wall Street debut nears. You just don't know what is like, FUD and noise. And are Wall Street, are those guys actually going to be shorting it and standing it down? Or are they trying to create another narrative? So the institutional, investors give pause to just running this thing up and fucking people. I don't know. Are there games? Is there like a kind of a 3D chess thing happening here? All right, I don't see a decision. Fed holds rates steady. There you go. We knew that, didn't we? All right, let's go to the block. What if they raise interest rates? That would have been funny. Let's share this instead. Okay, so Bitcoin is getting a little life. Come on. You guys can see this? Yeah. Ethereum stalwarts make push to raise gas limit, aiming for 15 to 33% reduction in fees. Ethereum Foundation has received a confidential inquiry from a state authority. Yeah, we talked about that. Ton Foundation is riding the wave of the Reddit hype right now and launches Toncoin Community Rewards Initiative worth over $100 million. SEC delays decision on Van Eck, asks for public comments. SEC, man, this SEC just can't win a case in court, can it? It's pretty funny. The U.S. Securities Exchange Commission issued subpoenas to firms that have dealt with Ethereum Foundation. The subpoenas honed in on the Ethereum Foundation, with firms getting the subpoena after Ethereum transitioned to a proof-of-stake consensus model. Individuals from companies receiving the subpoenas said the inquiries were highly specific to the Ethereum Foundation. In addition, some firms received subpoenas recently, while others obtained theirs after Ethereum switched to a proof-of-stake, dubbed the merge. Fortune reports that the regulators' investigations also required firms to provide documents and financial records related to Ethereum Foundation interactions. The foundation has noted a state authority contacted it. Shortly after the merge, SEC Chair Gary Gensler stated that tokens in a proof-of-stake consensus system could be considered securities since investors rely on the efforts of others to make a profit. I mean, there's a lot of shady shit that has happened with the Ethereum Foundation and the way, or at least it appears based on some of the very active guys that are looking into it. What's his name? Steven. He's kind of like a whistleblower. I think he even went to jail. He's kind of like a fall guy for them. Steve, I forget his name. What the hell? It's like Narioff or something. And then Truth Labs, I believe, is the account. He's been doing a lot of work on that. So there is a lot of speculation that there is skeletons in that closet. And the XRP army is obviously very, very in tune with ETHgate and all of this stuff. So there's a lot of people in crypto that are probably rooting this on, which is always a weird thing. I'm not rooting this on, but you want to know what's actually happened, and we'll see, won't we? All right, let's go to Blockworks and then we'll check prices. What is Ethereum Foundation removes warrant canary? What are we talking about? What is a warrant canary? We have received a voluntary inquiry from a state authority that included a requirement for confidentiality. Okay, hold on. I don't know what a warrant canary is. A warrant canary is a statement that declares that an organization has not taken certain actions or received certain requests for information from government or law enforcement authorities. Many services use warrant canaries to let users know how private their data is. Oh. All right. So we'll see what happens there. All right, decrypt. I guess we can look at this real quick before we go check prices because it's just right here. Looks like prices, ETH has been, or not ETH, Solana has been tumbling from its lofty heights. Kyle Davies shows no remorse for 3 arrows, blah, blah, blah. Prosecutors are treating Sam Bankman-Fried like a depraved supervillain. BlackRock to launch a tokenized asset fund. All right, let's go look at prices. So we're no longer in extreme greed. We're in greed. Bitcoin is up almost 3% in the last hour, still down 11% in the last 7 days. Ethereum is also up 3% in the last hour, but down 16% in the last 7 days. Sol is up almost 6% in the last hour. So we got some positive movement happening right now. AVAX is down almost 13% in the last 24 hours, so it gave back a lot of its gains. Doge is doging it. It's at 13 and it's down 20% in the last week. Polkadot is holding on to $9. Tron is just where it always is. It's around 10, 11 cents. Man, Aptos is at number 21. Does anybody use Aptos for anything? Anything. Top 20, it's almost a top 20 token. Does anybody use this shit? I don't think you do. I don't think anybody does. Wild. Stacks on stacks on stacks is taking back, it's top 25 now, up 13% in the last 24 hours. Looking good. ARB is up, but down almost 22% in the last 7 days. Hedera at a dime. Optimism 38. It's up, but down 23%. Thor chain bouncing back. It's up almost 10% in the last hour. Damn. Wild. Bouncing back, baby. Dog with hat. Down 9% in the last day, but up 9% in the last hour. So the hat is alive. Sui. Algorand. You could build something on top of it. You got 23, almost 24 cents for Algorand, down 20, almost 6% in the last 7 days, fallen below a $2 billion market cap, but volume is solid at over $100 million for Algorand, but low compared to like, Sui's almost $1 billion. Flocky is almost a $500 million. So they're trading those other things more. What's the volume like on Bitcoin? Bitcoin volume on Ethereum is actually pretty high. Volume on Bitcoin is trending down a little bit. Let's go to Vestige. Not going to make it. Poor. What we were talking about. It's down 10%, but up 53%. It's got a market cap of 12,000. Bank on Algorand. It's going to make you all poor. All right, we got Polka Gold at 18 cents. Sweet Uncle Polka Gold. Coop. What's going on with the 4.5 cents, Coop? What happened to 6 cents, Coop? Sorry, guys. Almost $1 million market cap still. And TVL is almost $500,000 if you do total TVL and not stable. Coop, why are you only at 4.5 cents? GORA pushing down a touch, but still up there in the mid 30s. Akita, you also had a pretty bad candle there. That is basically sideways. We got $250,000 in TVL and a nearly $2 million market cap. Nico's in the building. Can you feel it? Nico's in the building. Can you feel it? Sorry. Looking pretty good, but down 5%. Still a growing coin, helping out the Algorand NFT space, doing interesting things. That cool video that somebody had me watch yesterday was at Aubrey. Had me watch with the flamingo and the doofy. Speaking of doofy, have you guys paying attention to the doofy bracket? Doofy bracket, I believe Coop, not Coop Coin, is going against the Flamingo King. Coop drew a tough one, folks. So you can go to Doofy, and if you would like to see Coop win, you got to vote for Coop. If you'd like to see a Flamingo win, then you have to vote for the Flamingo. That's the way that works. Let's go back to the chat. Well, let's go to CNBC and see if what they're saying. Here is, here's what changed in the new statement. So the market liked what it says, but this can be very, Okay. So we're getting a green day. Dow rises more than 140 points after Fed still sees 3 rate cuts this year. So I think a lot of people were worried that we were going to hear that maybe there's going to be less than 3 rate cuts this year. Okay. So let's share this and let's go over here. Let's read this and then I'm going to be on my way. Following its 2-day policy meeting, the central bank's rate-setting FOMC committee said it will keep its benchmark overnight borrowing rate in a range between 5.25 to 5.5. Along with the decision, Fed officials penciled in 0.75% point cuts by the end of 2024, which would be the first reductions since the early days of the COVID pandemic. The Federal Reserve on Wednesday held interest rates steady as expected and signaled it still plans to multiple cuts before the end of the year. Following its 2-day policy meeting, the central bank's rate-setting FOMC committee said it will keep its benchmark, blah, blah. Along with the decision, Fed officials penciled in 0.75% rate cuts by the end of 2024, which would be the first reductions since the early days of the pandemic. The current federal funds rate level is the highest in more than 23 years. The outlook for 3 cuts came from the Fed's dot plot, a closely watched matrix of anonymous projections from the 19 officials who comprise the FOMC. The chart provides no indication for the timing of the moves. The plot indicated 3 cuts in 2025, 1 fewer than the last time the grid was updated in December. The committee sees 3 more reductions in 2026 and then 2 more in the future until the Fed funds rate settles in around about 2.75%. 4.6%, near what policymakers estimate to be the neutral rate that is neither stimulative nor restrictive. The grid is part of the Fed's summary of economic projections, which also provides estimates for gross domestic product, inflation, and unemployment. The dot assortment skewed somewhat hawkish from December in terms of deviations from the median, but not enough to change this year's projections. The FOMC's post-meeting statement was almost identical to the one delivered at its last meeting in January, say for an upgrade in its job growth assessment to strong from January characterization that gains had moderated. The decision to stand pat on rates was approved unanimously. Markets had been watching closely for clues about where the Fed would go from here with monetary policy. Earlier this year, traders in the Fed funds futures market had strongly priced in the likelihood that the central bank would start cutting at this week's meeting and continue doing so until it had totaled as many as 7 decreases by the end of the year. However, recent developments have changed that outlook dramatically. Higher than expected inflation data to start 2024. All right, we're going to hear what he says. However, there was no immediate information provided about changes in QT, quantitative tightening, though Powell has indicated several times that the matter was to be discussed at this meeting. More insight could be forthcoming from Powell's post-meeting news conference and the release of meetings minutes in 3 weeks. All right. So we're going to find out more about this in that meeting in 15 minutes, which we'll be watching upstairs, not up here, down here with you. All right. Let's go to the meet. Let's go back here. Let's get rid of this. All right, folks. Stacy helped me choose poor. Nokia. Good day, Coop. Okay, that's where we left off. Hola. Hi, Felicia. Nice to see you. Pablo says, good afternoon, Cooperholics and Algo Addicts. Hello, Coop fam. Coop will be $69 in 2030. Wait and see. Let's see it. 420 in 2048. Just got to live that long, folks. Trust me. Bank on. Let's go. Stacy helped me choose poor. What's up, Pablo? Guys, have you heard about BTC ordinals? I have heard of that. Yeah. Good morning and evening to everyone. What's up, Taco? Could you please tell people about our peer-to-peer marketplace app? Thank you. Taco Coin's got a peer-to-peer marketplace app. Did you guys know? If you don't know, now you know. Go check it out. Go check out Taco Coin on Twitter. And I'm sure there are all of the respective links to go check that service out. I think you could probably buy some of their product over there at their taco restaurant. My bags are rooting for ETH. Semino says, I could care less what they've done. But if Ethereum goes down from 3,300 back down to 900, that's not good for me and my family, or just him. Marketplace for selling general items. Our peer-to-peer marketplace on Algorand is also cross-chain, compatible with Aptos. Oh, well, there we go. There are things. There's tacos, at least, on Aptos. We added the functionality. Cool. What up? What's up, Rumi? We still see CMC, by the way. I know. Share your screen, Coop. Was I not sharing my screen? Did I do that for a while? Sorry, guys. I'm working on it. We're getting there. Anything interesting in my feed on Twitter? I'm not sharing my screen. Coop is life. Stacy with hat. All right, nothing exciting. I can check this too for a second, just make sure nobody's telling me anything important. Nope. All right, folks. Well, hey, everybody, thank you so much. Let's see what goes on. You know what I mean? Like we got the FOMC. We're going to have tomorrow, we got the Reddit IPO. So there's going to be some exciting shit happening right now. I'm excited to see. I'm excited. I'm gearing up. I feel like these Fed meetings are getting more and more important because we are getting closer to rate cuts, and rate cuts is going to be very, very bullish. And then obviously delaying rate cuts is going to be very, very, sideways to negative. Now, obviously, if they're cutting rates because they're preparing for a soft landing, that is a hell of a lot better than everything is breaking, so we have to cut rates. If they're cutting rates because everything is breaking, then we're going to really go into shit town. But so far, it doesn't feel like everything is breaking. So we'll see. yeah, oil's down. Natural gas is down. What's gold? Gold is up. Silver's over 25. All right. All right, everybody. Hey, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. I will be. And then after, oh, you know what? And then the Algo Foundry space. So maybe I might actually be a little later tomorrow. Might be more like 1:30, 1:30 Eastern. But and then we have the Algo Foundry space, and we're going to do that later. We're going to be hanging out with Michael Cotton. Me and Kevin are going to hang out with Michael Cotton, and we're going to talk about Algorand. We're going to talk about everything. I think Kev wants to talk about Polynize, which I need to look into and learn more about before the conversation. And yeah, that should be at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So make sure you tune into that. But before that even happens, let's meet up tomorrow. We'll talk about what's happened today. We'll talk about that Reddit IPO. We'll have some fun. And yeah, I'll see you then. All right, everybody.